저는 파탄방에다 동어 여기 다다서 리벤 큐를 소소 들어가는 다음에 큐 예차 랑게차 리루가 다 통일되는 거. 이 리딩에 가려면 큐도 전배에 나와 그래서 바탕에 서로 내라서 통일되는 거. 대입을 나는 좀 이거를 체크하기 예를 나는 영성은
So considering this text that we are studying here, the 100 advices of Patamba Sangye to the people from the area of Tingri, this is an extraordinary collection of heart advices. Just merely searching for Dharma, we find that the information contained describes exactly how Dharma is to be understood as the basis of everything, means how does reality look like. And then secondly, the path, how to approach reality. And thirdly, the results to be achieved. Everything concerning ground, path and result, that is to say, all Dharma is included in here. And even more, there is quite a multitude of advices that go to teach us to deal with everyday life. If we consider all this together, then it feels it would be very, very good for us if every day we just take a look at this text and pick out a few of those lines here that just fit to our everyday life and take that to heart and practice it. Then this text will prove to be an extraordinary treasury of knowledge and understanding.
帮助三万个，等于啊说，大家在曾经南中的主讲的，曾经先把我就是当成民了，我就我国家了，我跑入过的，原来沙巴康当康的看跑入过的我国家了，现在我就，人就是他传播嘛是把人当。정보 많이 봤다. 이 모두 단계 저는 아는 거 그런 얘기는.
Now, the next verse, 87, says, deceiving and lie will confuse oneself and others. And as a witness, search your own mind. People from Tingri. Now, talking about lies, this is to say words that are not the truth, just false words, false expression or statements, whereas the other expression here, deceit, in a general sense, it means to deceive people by any means. So if we deceive people to lead them astray, to confuse them, that they misunderstand, then this is the deceit, and lie specifically is done with the speech. So this has to be abandoned at all times, first of all.
Mo paro bola yojo de zegon mo paro bola pe san pongo mo paro bola rodo yinga te rodo.
In what sense now does deceit and lie lead to oneself and others astray? Concerning oneself, it's the fact then if we deceive and lie to people on a regular basis, then necessarily we will not have a very good reputation. And so by being looked upon by others in a very bad way, we also missed our goal, so we led ourselves astray. The same happens to others, since they're disappointed and they're sad when they find out that we deceive them, then also we let others astray.
뻔보 삼나 소리 되게 와서 나랑 그 요조도 다이나서 아니야 와데 예마가 하고 나를 나로 살고 하고 나랑 요조 장티네 나랑 된 남에 somebody 나랑 생각하고 와지 뻔보도 삼나 소리
저는 철을
참
So, when looking for a way how to deal with that, the advice in the second line goes to say, take as a witness your own mind. Search for a witness, take your own mind, people from Tingri. And the point here is that we need some objective judgment to say whether we do wrong or not. But it is not to please others that we don't lie or we don't deceive. It is to please essentially ourselves. So our own mind got to be the witness to say what to judge whether we are wrong or not.
지금 이만하다. 말을 들어와 풍지 짜와 이 희진 좀 들어와서 다다 나눠서 센티 당지 쩌다 그 genzo 너도 문라와 뭐뭐 라테네 다 들어오고 당기 철송한테 빼나 나루 송지저 공부 토벌서 되나 풍지에 짜와다 능리다.
Next verse says, unawareness and confusion are the root of the demon of ruin. Keep up that mindful awareness, people from Tingri. And considering our own situation, we have to acknowledge that basically we are in a state of unawareness. Unawareness, ignorance, that results in the mass and multitude of thoughts and opinions that we constantly entertain. So those thoughts and opinions are basically wrong about their misunderstandings of the basic nature. So we are constantly under wrong impressions and wrong thinking, and this confusion or delusion of mind that we reproduce at all the time is in fact the root of all our miseries. It's the root of all our problems, and that which finally leads to our ruin. In that sense, it is compared with the ill-wishing demon, a harmful demon that causes our ruin. So now what to do? We have to realize that we chased at all times by misunderstandings and erroneous opinions about this world. The whole mass of our confusion. But the main task is expressed in the second line. And we know the main task is essentially to rest in the natural, unartificial state of mind, the nature of mind. But when doing so, we will find ourselves at times distracted from that. When we find ourselves distracted, we can recognize this and settle again. So here it is the awareness or recollection that informs us constantly whether we are abiding or whether we are taken away and carried away by thoughts. So when we discover suddenly, oh, I've been carried away by my thoughts, fantasies, then by noticing this, we have the option again to dwell or settle in mind. And again, we are carried away by thoughts. Again, we notice it. Again, we can rest. So this is the main task that is expressed in the second line here. Behold by the awareness or vigilance of mind that informs you about whether you're distracted or not.
사자 gempo ganzo jite mikpe yorche yoma garu besana ngarange tenshi ki changni nite kadu yana ngarange sana ngarange taje ta kela saja gempo gamba.
Now, when the second line stresses so much the fact that we have to keep up this vigilance or awareness, it points to the meditation of Mahamudra. This is different from a meditation that uses a wisdom deity as the object of focus. In case of a wisdom deity, when in the development phase we generate all the various forms and attributes of that deity, the color and so on, we clearly have something to focus on. There is a reference point of mind concentration, something to concentrate on. In the context of Mahamudra, there is nothing to concentrate on. There is no reference point. There is no object of target, no focus of mind. It's just mind looking at mind. This is the difference. In that sense here, awareness and vigilance is needed. So this very point now here is very clearly emphasized by one of the great masters, Kamachakni. Kamachakni has composed a short form of the true practice, in which the following sentence appears, saying that normal mind, ordinary mind, by name Mahamudra, recall and recall again and again, or by recalling it again and again become clear. This process or this process is called, this exercise is called gaining experience. And if we look at this, what is meant here by ordinary consciousness, ordinary mind, then in fact, like normal mind, natural mind, to indicate that nothing has been altered, nothing has been changed, nothing improved, nothing taken away. It's just the very natural state of mind. That's why it's also called like ordinary mind. Ordinary mind here means, in fact, Mahamudra. So that natural state of mind, what to do with it? Just to become aware of it again and again. By recalling it again and again, remembering it again and again, it becomes clear. And doing this, training this itself is gaining experience. This is what is called gaining experience of practicing. Nothing else. Now, Mahamudra, or to deal with our own natural mind, is in fact it's the essence of all the paths. This is the very profound instruction that all the great siddhas from India and from Tibet, who finally attained the state of full awakening and Buddhahood, proceeded along. This is the one path, the one and only path to proceed along the essence of all instructions, Mahamudra, working with natural, ordinary mind.
지금 이만 동화소설 너무 와서 이게 뭐 돌아서 데려와 나는 그 사랑해 뭔가 동화 소리가 네 뭔가 동화 대저 대동 좀 맞아 처로냐 다티나게 빅밤들이 코는 싸고 대라서는 대라 동화 내가 이 동화 그 dob성지냐 내저 계속 등성 다티 dob성은 뭐냐 맞한테 내저 공부지 봐 처도대 계속 공부지 봐 그 dob성이에요 다티 대법 대식대 다때라고 그냥 뭐 동나가 나도 해 대법 영부 이게 내서 그냥 누송.
So now we come to 89, number 89, saying 5 poisons of mind, 3 poisons of mind, when once destroyed or subdued, then the path has become very short. The remedy, please show in your mind or the mind of others, people from Tingri. Talking about mental poisons, so there are various enumerations. One is to classify them as 5. Having 5 mental poisons, what are they? Classically, as we all heard, there are hatred, there are greed, and ignorance, and additionally, then there is pride and jealousy or envy. And so this the classification is 5. Those are the 5 mental poisons. If we talk about 3, then there is essentially hatred, greed, and ignorance. The 2 others that we miss can be found under the same categories, like under greed we find also pride. Pride goes in that direction of greed, whereas envy and jealousy are to be subsummarized under hatred. Those 3 or 5 mental poisons are the real enemies. They have to be subdued. And when we manage to subdue those, the path has become very short, means we are close to the goal.
아니보다 가리 때이고려나 라마도 대위신이 상도 로마 상도 때 대대인 차네 다 결혼 좀 통을 야. 아니야 들리지 나서 다 다리가 다 녀모만 해서 대다 들리 가고 막 대고.
Now, what to do? In case of 5 or 3 mental poisons, we need remedies to counteract the effect of the 5 or 3 mental poisons. And where do we get those remedies from? The remedies are essentially the heart advices of our teacher, the Guru. He has to point out to us what is the appropriate method to subdue the 5 or 3 mental poisons. And receiving this genuine information that serves as a remedy, we have to take this information to heart and remember, recall it at all times. Then the remedies are present. Then we are very close to reach victory.
옛날용 제바다를 들리나 성도 얼마 예도 제바라 성도 땅나 되는 예문만 너무 좋다. 제바라 성도. 예문반자 저지에서는 고완도 동화그롱이 앞에만 강한 몸도 용거를 나서다 들리는 성도 예문 대처. 예문 받다문데 뒤견도 나는 추거든 잔 하고 문도 변에 된다고 혈압다니면 같은 일이나 대보다 뭐뭐 따고 추거잖아 근데 린도 근데 좀 같은데 너무 근데 그거도 라서 봐 대보다 뭐뭐 따나 혈압 때문에 뭐.
Now, to give a practical example, we could consider a state of mind where we suddenly find ourselves overwhelmed by anger. And it's good to know there was something like patience to be done. Some sort of practice called patience we remember. But also we have to acknowledge that for a beginner indeed it's a very difficult task. The intensity of the 5 mental poisons is so strong that we have a hard time to counteract them by the remedies. In that case, to practice patience. Just be patient in the moment of strong anger. But on the other hand, it is not totally impossible. In no ways we have to stay all the time to be the victim of that anger. We are able to subdue that anger, but not in one time. We have to repetitively train ourselves. And that starts by remembering there was some sort of strange practice called patience. Slowly, we think about again and again about the advantages of that patience. Why was this patience said to be so good? What is the disadvantage of anger? It's kind of obvious. And reminding ourselves of that again and again, slowly our strength to keep patience will grow and the force of anger diminish. Slowly we are able to subdue this emotion. Taking another example, greed. A very helpful remedy of greed could be the advice to consider all the various problems in this world. That in this world nothing can be achieved as a permanent happiness. So all the fleeting types of joy and happiness finally lead to some sort of problem. This can be very helpful to remember when we are haunted by greed. Understanding there isn't anything really that is worth of wanting to have. And the third type of mental poison, the dullness, unclarity, and stupidity. The we see ourselves as a person that constantly forgets what's the point of Dharma, what was actually to be done, what was the real meditation like. There's this forgetfulness, this unclarity of mind, dullness. It is very helpful to consult Dharma texts and read them again and again. So we have to check. So if we don't know, we check. We check in the book, we see like, okay, the meditation had to be done that way. Again, we know. Or why was that to be done? What was the reason behind it? What was the profound reason behind to do so? Again, okay, that's why. Yeah. Or then we might wonder what is actually our way, how do we see the world, and why is that wrong? Let us see the world like this. We look in the books and we see the different ways we can consider reality, understanding what is true and what is false. Why is it wrong to see the world like I see it? And what could be the better way? And so slowly reading about this again and again, our intelligence greatly improves. And this is the remedy of dullness and ignorance.
그러니까 나절게 뽑아들 때 일단 요즘에 마실 때는 나절게. 뭐라 얘기니 요 말에 거기다 나라기. 뭐라 눈게 자체 몸은 거기다 나라기 하고 나서 대다 요즘에 마실 때는 나절 뽑았지. 나절 뽑았지는 이게 뭐라 나라는 게 째나 성파. 나라 연진도 때지 요래디는 나라 생기는 요 말. 나라 눈치도 때지 요래디 나라 생나 최고 요래 대다와서 나는 나절게 님.
So, taking the example of pride. Pride is of such a kind of mental attitude where we look down upon someone else. And the reason why we look down on someone else could be quite different. We could consider ourselves to have much more quality than someone else. And we could also say that maybe I have much more wealth or money than someone else. But this guy is poor, so I have much more, so that's why I'm better. And all those various reasons just entertain the idea that we are so much better. But are we really so good? So when we look for a remedy, we have to put our finger on that spot where we have some defect. And we can find some defects. We could say, oh, I have so much more knowledge than this guy, but I'm so lazy. I'm such a lazy dog. Or maybe this other person doesn't have so much money, but I have much more greed. So then we also find some defect and problems. I have much more stinginess. Huh? Other one is more poor, but I am more stingy, more avarice in my mind to be found. So this is a defect. Or we come pointing to our body, we can say, well, indeed, I have the much more beautiful eyes, but if I didn't have that funny nose. Or my body is in such good shape, I have this pain in my knees. Or maybe my words are much more elaborate, I can speak much better, but my voice doesn't really come out. Like this funny voice. So we always find some part of ourselves where there's a defect. And remembering that defect and stain in ourselves greatly diminishes our idea of pride.
아니, 저도 그게 무슨 일이다. 나름대로 기빠이 받자는 저도 예딩이 찬 기빠, 조선은这个찬 기빠, 저는 년조가 찬 기빠이 받자는 저 저도 다고 나름대로 기빠 용으로 호로를 하서 나름 부르는 되는 거예요. 내가 저도 내가 대해서는 내 준비를 해서 하나 거를 저도 제주 가면도 고롱하게 생각 수천부 사네 되어서 떠나는 거는 사람들이 좋아해. 내가 저도 제주죠만 나랑 그 배워야 보도는 제가 와요. 내가 어제 준비를 해서
Jealousy or envy is that type of mental poison that is focusing on people we consider as equal. Equal in reputation, fame, equal in wealth, living standard, equal in qualities, whatever it may be. And then we get so envious and we get so jealous when we see that somebody else is on the move to become better. And we think we are entitled to be better. And being victim of that mental poison is very good and helpful to remember cause and effect relationship in action. Immediately it will be clear to us that this person there enjoys his luck, fortune, due to previous good mental impressions, by previous deeds in other lifetimes. And there's no reason to be envious or jealous. In fact, if I were to do all this, good action, then no reason why I should not be able to experience the same type of fortune. It's totally up to me to act positively in the same way.
他这种技能，政治所做叫长嘛，要过去的定是话，他政治做就是口中中讲啊，那种不上街话了，眼睛目光的，这当政治做就看理解了，没有啊，但那种从来个毛不要啊，你们你样能力就好，你没做把个这些当没做把这个用的，这个政治没办法的。 这是个蛮当啊！感谢这，等你本来个东北娘的经过，等你俺种这些原来娘的家里，俺这娘的跑家的，那你是不是这里这跑去家里娘的是没说平东个，咱这个这个没有。
Joyous effort, weak in strength, will not lead to enlightenment. And therefore, achieve the armor, people from Tingri. So here, I'm talking about a joyous effort or enthusiasm. This is obviously the source of reaching the ultimate goal of enlightenment. If we are repetitively applying ourselves with joyous effort, then we will reach then we reach our goal. But there is sometimes we are really heavy loaded by work, and when we have so much work to do, and for a few days we can't really find the time to practice. This is not a lack of joyous effort. The lack of joyous effort is the case when, in spite of having time, even a little bit of time, we just postpone our duty of practicing Dharma, and we keep it, say, the next day, or the next weekend, and then we postpone it to the next month, and so for a couple of months we just don't practice. If that happens, then this is definitely a lack of strength in our joyful striving.
Tenga Dharma, Tani Yami Jatosama, Tani Yami Jatosama, Tani Kata, Tengu Kosan Ku. Dana, Tapa do some time, dream, Yami good, Sona, Tengu Kosan. The
second line here says, well, in case now we find ourselves with a lack of diligence or enthusiasm. What we need is the armor. So, manage that this armor arrives at your place. And what is that armor? The armor is usually all this type of very funny clothing that protects us against the weapons of enemies. If we look out of our window and we see the enemy approaching, we take on our armor that could protect us. Here the enemy is that thought, oh well, maybe I do this tomorrow. The type of laziness or its lack of awareness or vigilance. And when we see that happen and the thought creeps in, well, I could do this practice or later, then here in this moment we have to take on the armor of joyous effort, saying, bullshit, no matter what happens, I'm strong enough, I can do it. I can do it now. That's the armor of vigilance or joyous effort. Wenn es dazu Fragen gibt, dann willkommen, please questions.